This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the Mark of the Masters, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk TNA Impact 11/29/2012, Championship Thursday. A lot of stuff happened last week. And it was also Thanksgiving, one of my favorite times of the year. I love to eat. But before I start off, I want to send a quick, I want to, well, I want to send my condolences out to the wrestling community, the friends, and above all, the family of Buddy Roberts, one of the greatest, one of the all-time legends in professional wrestling, one-third of one of the greatest factions of all time, the Fabulous Freebirds. I found out yesterday that he passed away. Growing up as a kid, I used to watch the UWF, the WCCW, AWA, NWA. I mean, all over. You know, the Fabulous Freebirds were synonymous with tag team wrestling and just being cool. They were bad guys, but they were cool. And when they were good guys, they were still cool. And Buddy Roberts was a very important part of me falling in love with professional wrestling. So, again, I want to send my condolences out to his friends, family, the wrestling community. Again, my condolences out to Freebird, Buddy Roberts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to Impact Wrestling. And Hulk Hogan, brother, is pissed, dude. He's upset, brother, because he wants to know what Bully Ray wants with his daughter, dude. What's going on, brother? Hulk Hogan is a little confused. He's a little upset because apparently something's going on between Bully Ray and his daughter, and he wants to know what. So he calls Bully Ray to the ring, and Bully Ray actually comes out of the ring. It looks like Bully Ray is about to tell Hulk Hogan that there is a relationship between them, but Brooke Hogan comes to the ring. And she's like, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I'm not 18 anymore. And Hulk Hogan makes it clear that he's the GM, but above all, he's dad. And if you're a father, I don't know if you want Bully Ray dating your daughter, but it's a whole trust issue. Bully Ray's upset because Hulk Hogan doesn't trust him. I'm sure Brooke Hogan's in love with Bully Ray, and Hulk Hogan doesn't want his daughter dating a wrestler, so on and so forth. But amongst all this arguing, the man, Austin Aries, is backstage with a lot of the X Division competitors because Hulk Hogan has to make a decision about the X Division tonight. There's going to be a championship match tonight, which will be the main event. And we got a couple of guys that Hulk Hogan has to choose from. You have Zema Ion, Kid Cash, so on and so forth. Anyway, the funniest thing is Austin Aries basically says, look, you got to stop worrying about your family problems and you need to be back here. And then he says, you know what? I'll wait for you. I'll lay down on this table. Oh, man, this table is hard. It hurts. How do you do it, Brooke? Austin Aries calling out Brooke Hogan. Hulk Hogan was not happy. We're going to move on. And we find Gail Kim versus Mickie James. And Mickie James, they're trying to build Mickie James up. Two former Knockouts champions. Mickie James is the #1 contender. And it was actually a pretty decent match. Mickie James misses her spike DDT, but she ends up hitting the Tilt-A-Whirl spike DDT for the 1, 2, 3. So Mickie James goes over Gail Kim for the 1, 2, 3 tonight. So now we have Cowboy James Storm. Cowboy James Storm is upset about Bobby Roode because Bobby Roode is getting a little personal, talking about his daughter, talking about his family. And while Cowboy James Storm is cutting his promo in the backstage area, he's interrupted by AJ Styles, who is becoming a bit of a whiner. Now, I have a question for you guys. This is opinion based. I would like to know what your opinion is. Please leave a comment below. Who's your favorite AJ Styles? Do you like AJ Styles the heel? Do you like AJ Styles the face? Or do you like what this character is becoming? I think he's becoming a little bit of a whiner. Maybe a little Christian-ish. Remember Christian when Christian was losing? Or maybe when Chris Jericho was in WCW, he started pouting every time he would lose a match, slamming chairs against the ring. Do you see AJ Styles' character going that way? AJ Styles has been around a long time. What do you think the next step should be for his character? Anyway, we're going to move on. Hulk Hogan's in the back, and Hulk Hogan has to make, again, a decision tonight. Bobby Roode is now in the ring. Bobby Roode last week interfered, which was one hell of a match between Christian York and Hardy, and Jeff Hardy. And Christian York, people say rookie. The guy's been around for years. and he put on one hell of a show. And Bobby Roode cuts a promo basically putting down Christian York, saying Christian York is a nobody. You know, Jeff Hardy, I'm not impressed because Christian York is a nobody and he basically almost beat you. Well, Christian York doesn't like that, and Christian York comes into the ring. And after Bobby Roode makes fun of his Rastafarian haircut, Christian York slaps the living hell out of Bobby Roode. So we go into a match between Bobby Roode and Christian York, which was actually a really good match. Christian York is so good. Guys, if he works on his mic skills a little bit more, give him a little more personality. I mean, again, like I said, he's got the look, he's got the in-ring ability. Christian York put on one hell of a fight. But unfortunately, for today, Christian York goes down, and he goes down to the crossface. Yes, he taps out to Bobby Roode's crossface. We're going to move on, and we have a recap of all the havoc that Aces and Eights has been doing. And I don't know if maybe it's just me, but they're kind of toning down the whole Aces and Eights thing. I would like to know what you guys think. Do you think it's a good thing? I mean, it's still obviously one of the most important parts of the show, but I feel, you know how they say the silence before the storm, or the quiet before the storm? Well, I have a feeling that there's a little bit of quiet and there's going to be a big storm coming. But we have the Aces and Eights last week, and last week they broke Eric Young's ankle in front of his wife ODB last week. So Eric Young was taken out. Well, here's the situation. Devon said that his television title was basically stolen from him. We know that he was in contract negotiations, so on and so forth. So they had to have a television champion. Samoa Joe actually won that title. He's been holding it for a long time. He's a great television champion. But the fact of the matter is this. Devon was never beaten for that championship. So Devon says, look, if I get my championship back, or if I get my championship title match next week, nobody gets hurt this week. Do you take their word? It's funny. These guys are animals. These guys are evil, but they're pretty good at keeping their word. Honor amongst thieves. Well, we move on and we see Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle is still politicking backstage for Wes Briscoe. You know, Wes Briscoe was the first guy. He actually beat Bischoff in his gut check match. So he's the first gut check competitor to actually win a match. There's only one problem. Al Snow is a no-show. Nobody seems to know where Al Snow is. Interesting. I'm going to try to tie this in a little later on, but we're going to move on to a tag team match between Kaz Daniels, Cowboy James Storm, sorry about your damn luck, and AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. AJ Styles actually wasn't too phenomenal this match. Made a lot of mistakes. And you can see Cowboy James Storm was getting a little, let's just say, frustrated with AJ Styles. Now we get into the tag team match. And again, Cowboy James Storm and AJ Styles are not really working well together. Christopher Daniels and Kaz are working like a well-oiled machine, as they usually do. One of my favorite tag teams. And Cowboy James Storm actually had to bail AJ out a couple of times. Again, AJ Styles just wasn't himself. Towards the end of the match, AJ Styles gets hit with this great double team move, a powerbomb combination neck breaker by Kaz and Daniels. Well, Cowboy James Storm ends up bailing him out, pulling Kaz out of the ring, into the barricade outside the ring, tagging himself in, hitting Daniels with the super kick, getting the 1-2-3 for the win. You think AJ is going to celebrate? No, he didn't celebrate. He looked dejected. He looked upset. He looked like he saw his wife sleeping with another man. He looked like he just saw his puppy fall out of a 12-story window. I mean, it was bad. He looked really upset. Now, will AJ Styles turn? As they say, turn heel? Is he going to maybe start a feud down the line with Cowboy James Storm? Will he get jealous and maybe screw Cowboy James Storm out of a title match? Or, you know, we never know what's going to happen down the line. I know AJ Styles is supposed to have this big match, you know, and everything is coming to its crescendo against him and Daniels. They've had phenomenal matches, no pun intended, for years on the indie circuit and TNA, so on and so forth. Where is this going to end, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to know what you guys think. I would like to know, if you guys were booking the show, what would you do? In what direction would you move AJ Styles' character? He's been in the company for a long, long time, ladies and gentlemen. Is AJ Styles finally giving up? I would like to know what you guys think. We move on. So now we have Samoa Joe backstage. And he basically says, You want your title? You come and get it. So basically, Samoa Joe accepts Devon's challenge, and the Aces and Eights, they don't get involved tonight. So we move on, and we see Doug Williams. Doug Williams, and he goes up against a monster in Matt Morgan, accompanied by Joey Ryan, his mouthpiece. And you know, I like where they're going again with Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan, I've heard in various websites and various internet shows that people make fun of Matt Morgan on the mic. They don't think he's too good. I would like to know what you guys think. I actually think he's pretty decent on the mic. I don't see really any problem with him. He is what he is, but for a monster, he's very athletic. He's 7 feet tall. He's built like a brick house, and the guy can move. I think he has a lot of potential, and the WWE may regret not signing this kid, but he actually annihilates Doug Williams. No contest. Carbon footprint 1, 2, 3. He goes over Doug Williams easily. And I see TNA building this monster up. Now we have so many things going on in the World Championship. Let's just in the whole championship scene, World Championship scene. Where does the Blueprint fit in here? Does he push his way in the door? What's your opinion? What would you do if you guys were writing the show, if you were booking the show? I'm interested to find out. Leave a comment below, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. You always find me here at OneWrestling.com. Let's move on. And now we have a little bit of a conundrum because they're supposed to, Pritchard, Taz, and Al Snow are supposed to vote on Wes Briscoe and Gut Check. Well, the fact of the matter is that Al Snow is a no-show. His wife hasn't heard from him. Now, D'Lo Brown volunteers to be a judge. I've made comments before regarding who was part of the Aces and Eights. I have very, very good idea. I pretty much know who's part of Aces and Eights. Now, my question to you is this. Is D'Lo Brown involved? Is Wes Briscoe involved? People are sleeping on it. Is Kurt Angle involved? A lot of questions to be had. But D'Lo Brown seemed to be a little too eager to help out. And he's really on Wes Briscoe's side. Anyway, we go to Gut Check. And they start with the voting. And to my surprise, Bruce Pritchard says yes. And the old switcheroo, Taz, says no. Well, D'Lo Brown says yes. So Wes Briscoe is now officially a member of the TNA roster. Really interesting to see what happens in the next coming week. Kurt Angle and Garrett Bischoff come into the ring and they celebrate. Are they going to be celebrating down the line when they find out who the members of the Aces and Eights are? Did they let an animal into their door? Into their home? I guess we're just going to have to find out in the next coming weeks. But anyway, we move on to the final match. Hulk Hogan has made his decision. It's not Kenny King. It's not Kid Cash. It's not Zema Ion. It will be Austin Aries. And he basically put Austin Aries in this match to see him get his butt kicked. And he did. RVD put up one hell of a fight. Now, and something really hilarious, the way this match ends. We have Austin Aries, who has RVD right where he wants him, in the ring, flat on his back. And I'm going to read my notes here because Austin Aries, and I quote, basically said, "Look at you. You're laying flat on your back, sweaty, out of breath. You look like Brooke Hogan." Well, Bully Ray doesn't take too kindly to this, and Bully Ray comes into the ring and attacks. RVD gets the win. Actually, no, I'm sorry. RVD gets the loss. Austin Aries gets the win, but doesn't get the title. And Austin Aries is upset, and he's making his way out of the ring, and he's yelling at Bully Ray, and Bully Ray staring at him, wants to take a chunk out of him. And Hulk Hogan, brothers, at the top of the ramp. And I thought Hulk Hogan was going to go at Austin Aries, but no. Austin Aries just kind of squeaks on by, and Hulk Hogan just has his eyes set on Bully Ray, brother. Man, you don't want to get daddy upset. Ladies and gentlemen, where is this storyline going? Where are we going with this whole Brooke and Bully Ray thing? Is Bully Ray part of the Aces and Eights? Is it possible that maybe he's trying to get the person closest to Hulk Hogan? I mean, the Aces and Eights are clearly trying to get at Hulk Hogan and TNA. What would be a better way than having Bully Ray date or maybe even marry the daughter of the general manager for TNA? This is, again, my opinion. I'm taking a wild guess here, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to know what you guys think. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll always catch me here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling video every single week. Check out my friends Lady B from the NYC and, of course, the legend Bill Apter here at OneWrestling.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you here next week. Big Ray's Wrestling Show. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next week. Peace.